Ring the alarms, because things like this get stuff canceled every single day. And considering the fact that Black Clover is on hiatus and all sorts of stuff is going on with it right now, it's not the best time for some drama to be happening. But yeah, the force of the universe decided, you know what, it is thy wilt, and yeah, here it goes. But I was scrolling through my timeline a little earlier, maybe a couple hours ago as of the recording of this video, and I was like, oh snap, it's the official Black Clover Twitter account. I believe in Japanese, it's BlackClover_off, and it is 100% verified. I'm like, hey, what's going on over here? There's like an announcement or something. I'm seeing a lot of people talking about it, retweeting it, and they're all being very vague about it. I'm like, what is the whole big, you know, what's going on? What happened? And I see it, and initially I'm thinking, wait a minute, okay, so it's in Japanese, so I can't really tell off the rip, because like, yo, I can't read kanji to save my life. I can read some katakana, hiragana, kanji. You've got me by the bollocks, mate. But I just looked at it, I'm like, okay, I could read Yami, I could read like what does that say, knocked, like I could read a couple of things here, but Black Clover of course, but I really can't tell what's going on. So I did the unthinkable, people. I did what shouldn't have been done. I pressed translate, and wow, today April 30th is Nahat's birthday, with a little, I believe that's a goat if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, they're referring to knocked. So already the translation is a little off, because his name is not Nahat, not Nahat, like he's not a hat. Nah, it's not a hat, I don't want a hat. No, it's knocked, right? But then the following line is like, yo, this goes deep, because it says Yami's bad friend, and in parentheses, y'all see it. And by no means am I making a joking matter out of this. This is actually ridiculous, disgusting, and how does this happen? Like, how? Like, but how does something like that go through? And in particular, putting in parentheses after saying bad friend. That is right there making me question, okay, because I also seen somebody posted a proper translation, because again, it said that, and Asta's other teacher knocked. It is a commemorative icon of the deputy leader of the Black Bulls that the four demons of Himodero are pleased with. But the actual translation, somebody said, is this is why you use Deep L instead of Google Translate. Today, April 30th, is Nock's birthday. Yami's bad friend and Asta's other mentor, Noct. Gimordello and the other four demons are also happy. This is the commemorative icon of the deputy leader of the Black Rabble. I'm guessing they mean bulls, black bulls. So this person that's correcting them, the translation isn't the greatest either. But either way, I'm like, how? Because first of all, where is and who is providing that technology? And in fact, I'm sure a lot of people are probably going to try and connect dots right now, because hey, Elon Musk wink-a-dinkly bought Twitter, and a word like that is flying out of nowhere. I didn't connect the dots, okay, people? Like, you did that, I'm sure. Now, I'm not saying that Elon Musk purposely went through and said, hey, Black Clover, blah, 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 but yeah, who's providing the translations to even include that word to begin with? Like, that's one of the biggest things. And if this wasn't purposely done, this is definitely a showcase of rewriting in code, or because I've never seen this. I've never, as many times as I've, you know, checked and I've translated all sorts of stuff. We do this thing, you know, damn near every day, talking about some type of news or an article or something like that, and me translating and using the Twitter translate tools or whatnot. And I've never seen that happen right there, because first of all, that is absolutely disgusting. If that was accidental, then how does that even accidentally get into the digital dictionary, so to speak, for Twitter's translation? So whoever's providing the translations, because I looked at the translation, I was trying to like read it and whatnot, I passed it through a couple things, and no, that wasn't in there. So that was definitely attributed to the Twitter translation. So whoever encoded the translation there slipped that in, because we can't blame, I'm not even gonna lie, like, one thing I don't want people to say, oh, cancel Black, that's not what the translation says. That's just not, like, we're not gonna, you know, we can't throw false blame on people that ain't to blame. Like, straight up, that's not what it says. So the blame for people that are looking at it like, yo, really, Black Clover? Don't point it at Black Clover's Twitter, Yuki Tabata, none of that stuff. The blame for this one obviously has to go to wherever the translations came from, because again, that word isn't used in the actual text. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't it just Google translations that are integrated into Twitter's software? So wouldn't it essentially be Google, although they don't really advertise that as Google Translate anymore? So I'm kind of curious, again, who's providing the translations to Twitter's algorithm. But wow. And it's just pretty unfortunate that this happened in general, because again, it probably was a translation thing, whoever programmed that word into the actual, you know what I'm saying, lexicon. But they have other happy birthday posts out there for like Klaus, you got Seke, you got Dante from the Dark Triad, and all of those went off without a hitch. It was only until we got to Knocked, Yami's friend that this translation tool decided to completely go left field and go completely off the frickin' rails. And you know, this whole thing is like bigger than just what's going on right now on the Black Clover Twitter account. Like, you know, this whole issue goes so much further and deeper than just, you know, a Twitter account from a corporation tweeting out something that is very disgusting and disturbing. This goes into a problem that even in the anime community is really not spoken much about. I try to touch on it from time to time because I feel like it's an important issue, and that's that there's a lot of racism and a lot of hatred that kind of brews within the anime community, and oftentimes it manifests in many different ways. And this even goes further into deeper conversation of the person that put it into the code to begin with. Like, if you have people involved that are cynical enough to think of doing something like that, you got a bigger issue than just, again, you know, Black Clover's Twitter account, which, as wrong as it is, ultimately it goes further than that, and that's a conversation for another time. And I'm sure there's going to be a few people that say, hey, Fornev, why are you being so dramatic talking about these deeper issues? It was just an algorithm issue. Well, algorithms don't program themselves, do they? Like, hey, somebody has to be at the helm of these machines, and I get it that they're learning, the machines are getting so complex that they're getting to that point, but what is this to say that, like, robots are racist? Like, come on now. I don't need to stress how damaging this is already for this to pop up, right? Because I'm sure jobs are going to get lost. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you, if the person that is in charge of that account potentially could lose their job, because over here in the West, even though that's a Japanese Twitter account, people right now are going nuts, and the post is still up as of the recording of this video. I'm not sure if they take it down yet. By the time it goes up, it might be down, but as of the recording of this video, that post is still up. People are upset, and rightfully so. But again, don't misplace your anger and don't misplace why you're upset. It's not at Black Clover, it's not at Shueisha, it's not at Shonen Jump, and nor am I trying to cape for anybody, because if they did it, so be it. But it's the translation technology that is either provided by Google or Twitter is messing with things. And also, I want to stress, by the way, I'm not trying to say that Elon Musk is coming and he's bringing extreme right-wingism. Like, that's not what I was trying to say. I'm just saying that, hey, that's what people are going to connect dots, because this happened coincidentally after the $44 billion buyout. And if they are somehow linked, then you could probably expect to see more of these situations moving forward. Although, to be honest with you, when has Twitter ever been the most PC place? There is always something really messed up and disgusting happening on the platform anyways, so it was a strong possibility that this was going to happen at some given point, and here we are. Black Clover's Twitter account has said something that, honestly, if it was that it was intentional, could be canceled. But again, this is a Japanese Twitter that is being translated using technology that isn't a human that is doing it, and again, that's just not what it says for the final time. But that's all I have for this one. I'm ForneverWorld. Have an awesome day, and remember the golden rule: anime and manga, one life, bye! Have an awesome day, peace in, and yeah, that word and bad friend shouldn't be synonymous, and whoever did that is a piece of trash. If you want to say it's a mistake or whatever, why is the word even in there to begin with for a Japanese translation of a Japanese comic book meant for children? Just think sometimes. Have an awesome one. Just go to